All right, good peoples, good Wednesday morning. We're here for yieldMaxes, and a couple of them, I gotta say, wow, oh wow. Um, but I'm doing pretty good in my non-income oriented BTC. But I still wanted to say to Misty, great job. Wow, oh wow. They're right up there with their highest dividend, and they're the king of the D group, right? So you guys all know A, B, C, D, that we've completed one cycle now. So next week we're back to Tesla and the leader of the group A, right? Or GUI, Zomo, YBit, Crash, Snowflake, TSMC, or TSM, I should say, YMAX and YMAG every week. So as a reminder, you guys all know that the real benefactor of all of this to get to weeklies is YMAX and YMAG, right? So they broke all the groups up. Once we're in this mode, we now have, with payments on Friday, will have completed the first cycle. So now it'll just be group A, group B, group C, group D. You don't have to wait a longer period. Like for those of you in MSTY, last time you got a distribution was early September, right? Now you're getting late October. You'll get late November, but at least you'll be on basically a 4-week cycle. All right, so let's jump into what they were. Let me show you the sheet and then give you the yields and so forth. One of these is calculated a little bizarre, but anyway, I wanted to jump in here. So here's YMAX 22.68. That's 67%. Last in Group C, they had a nice 20-cent payout, right? But I don't know what happened to YMAG. 5 cents, 14.96. Horrible, horrible. Okay. Um, so here's the, let me jump into my sheet rather than doing it over here because it's easier to see with my color coding. So there's MSTY, the prior largest distribution, the very first distribution. I remember it to this day was 412 something. So, and then they had a 3, several 2s, right? And here we are with a 419. Okay. It's up to 31, but remember, this stock's been 45 before, so some people are still recovering. But this is a nice run, but it took BTC and MSTR to be up there, right? Now they've come back a little bit the last day or so, but in general, BTC is doing well. I've made a lot of trades on MSTR, been into the 2X. Or the 1.75 right over at Defiance. Several times I've traded in and out of that for money. So I still love BTC. I just generally don't love yieldMax. Although I will say this is a very good distribution. Now, a little bit down here, let me jump to the bottom and then back. So I see 535. I'm like, wow. Well, not so fast, right? So what is that really telling me? Remember, that's on a $55 stock. So the yield is still nice. It's the second highest one at $1.25. Um, but it's not 175, right? I think that $4 when we were probably, if I had to remember, it was probably 34 or 35 on MSTY. Like I said, MSTY went as high as $45, the actual stock run up. But it's come back nicely. And a lot of it more is MSTR, right? It's just done well. So anyway, YQQ came back to earth a little bit. They had a decent payout before, back to 35.5, right? Pretty, but I think if we get the sell-off, if and when, which I think isn't far away, we get the sell-off, then this thing will pay better, hopefully, right? They can get overrun on the downside. Don't just assume the bearish makes you a lot of money. You know, they're income funds and they have limitations. AMZY at least is back to 76 cents from 65. I remember when the 70s and 80s were the norm, right? And then we got a yucky payment, I think, at one point. Apple 34, it's down from 45. So a paltry 24%, right? This is at least 50% yield. And then AIYY, nice, it doubled, more than doubled slightly its payout from last time. Now, the problem is this thing is going to reverse split. I know reverse split is just an accounting method, but it says a whole lot about the path of the stock, right? You remember when Tesla reverse split? It's because the stock went from $220 down to $100. Well, this thing's basically gone from $20. It's been as low as $8. So if we get a sell-off in the NASDAQ and in the general stock market, this thing will split right away. As soon as it probably gets in the sevens, they'll announce the split. I haven't really checked the price. I don't know what Tesla was before it split, but the magic number is always $5. You get a delisting order when you get below $5. So you don't want that to happen. So that's why they look at $6, $7, $8 range based on and say, oh, okay, we're going to split it. And that's why they went to 50. Although to me, you know, that says something about it. When a MSTY can get up to 31 from 20, you don't really need a $50 price. The better performers, right? Now, granted, when it pays 419, let's see what it does. But tomorrow, whatever it closes at on Wednesday, then it's going to drop $4.19 on the opening in the pre-market on Thursday. And know that it's going to pay you on 1025, right? So, oh, that's a good point. So here's your group Ds, right? These declarations happen pre-market on 1023. So on 1024, they trade ex-dividend, right? So if you didn't buy it on 1023, you can buy it cheaper by $4.19. This is the closing price on 1022. So I imagine with this announcement, it'll probably open up higher because people are going to be chasing that yield, right? And then knowing that it's going to drop. All right, so YQQ. So I went through them. So anyway, 1023, Thursday's ex-dividend, you get paid on Friday, 1025, which is one of my favorite days of the year. You could probably guess why I might say that, although at this age, I don't really look forward to those anymore. I haven't for 20 years plus. All right, so AIYY, I was talking about DISO, Disney, 51 cents up from 46. It's an okay. I mean, if you got 40% on your money year in and year out always and had no NAV reduction, you'd be doing fantastic, right? But you can see here, there's a reason it's $16, right? That's 20% from 16 to 20. Now, 39 is not 16 even. But you can see where I'm going there. SQY 102, 87% yield, 18.9, not bad. This guy's up from $50, right? SMCY. They had a good earnings, right? So I'll give YieldMax credit. They didn't blow it. They could have messed that, you know, earnings up. So that's okay. And as I said, this nickel, there's probably some rationale for it. And again, as you guys know, I'm not covering these on a daily basis and staying that close. I just I don't want my money in income funds right now, to be honest. I can make a lot more money trading these things without being in the income fund. And I don't have to wait a month, you know, that kind of stuff. All right, guys. So that's what I got for you on this. This is your Group D. Buy on Wednesday 10/23 if you want a 535 SMCY payment or a 419 payment. Okay. And YMAX, I gotta say, I've always liked it being spread out, but I really like 51 last week and 67 this week. What were the priors? 60 back on Group B and a 61% on Group A. Not bad. I mean, 4 payments across that, and you've been sticking with, averaging. That's pretty darn close to 60%. That thing was dropping below 40. So good on good for YMAX. Again, the markets have been up, and I don't really expect that much going forward. Like I said, if I saw 61,000 on the S&P, 61.3, 61.5, that's a top, right? Anything beyond that in this melt up scenario, then that's where you get a boom and a bust. You could see 60 or 70%. But as long as they stay, I could see a run up to 61 in October, maybe into November, some in the election. But then you probably see a 15 or 20% pullback in those indexes from there. All right, guys, that's what I got for you. Again, Bruce with Targeted Wealth Creation. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Have a great one. Bye for now.